Every year, Hindus throughout the globe celebrate Diwali, a holiday commemorating Prince Ram return to Ayodhya after conquering the formidable King Ravana. Narratives of their fight often portray Ravana as a one-dimensional monster whose horrible crimes, such as the abduction of Sita, cast him as irredeemably demonic. Regardless of how bad a person seems, Hinduism believes that no one is ever entirely evil. Everyone, in the end, comes from the divine, and hence everyone is pure. Many people get caught up in the dualities of life, such as hot-cold, ugly-beautiful, and old-young, and they have a propensity to overlook this nature as they do all they can to acquire what they want and avoid what they don't want, regardless of how their actions affect others around them. As a result, like all other beings, Ravana was a multifaceted person who displayed both bad and good traits during his life's journey. He was a brilliant warrior, statesman, monarch, astrologer, and Ayurvedic doctor, and he took great care of his country, ensuring that even the poorest of its residents were well off and never in poverty. As a well-known devotee of Shiva, each of the 10 heads he is commonly represented with is thought to represent the 6 Shastras and 4 Vedas. But, like many before and after him, he was led astray by his yearning for pleasure, falling into a smorgasbord of life's vices in his search for so-called happiness. As his desire for power grew, his 10 heads of knowledge became more well-known as representations of the 10 attributes that persons who had such authority radiate. They are as follows. Matsarya means pride. Mada means envy. Buddhi means intellect. Manas means mind. Chitta means will. Ahankar means ego. Kama means lust. Krodh means anger. Moh means delusion. Lobh means greed. Success in spiritual life, according to the Bhagwat Geeta, is dependent on a constant intellect, which can only exist via mastery of the senses. Attachment arises when we place too much emphasis on a sensory item. Long-term connection develops into great craving or lust, and when the object of our passion is not attained, wrath develops. When we are blinded by wrath, we fall into illusion, which causes confusion and a loss of knowledge as we lose sight of our genuine spiritual nature. In Ravana's instance, Sita was the object of his senses. He kidnapped her by force, possessed by passion, and became enraged when she refused to remain with him. He lost all knowledge, blinded by his rage, thinking he could overcome her spouse Ram, an incarnation of Vishnu, who ultimately killed him. Good and evil, like everything else in the material world, are relative and have no true significance in relation to heavenly beings such as Ram and Sita. As a result, an accurate depiction of Ravana is not that he was a demon but rather that he was a human who failed to regulate his senses, leading to forgetting of his actual spiritual nature. As a result, in order to avoid following in their footsteps, we must all try to behave selflessly by regulating our senses and adopting discipline in the quest for spiritual progress rather than our selfish wants. We may transcend commonplace concepts of good and evil by practicing such discipline and perceive everyone for what they actually are, majestic and beautiful embodiments of the divine. This is it for today's video. Hope you liked and don't forget to subscribe our channel Hindu Saint.